Hey guys, Lewis here, and I'm back with another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved. Plague Inc. Evolved recently just got a new update, a couple of bug fixes, and some UI streamlining, but they also added the next plague that they have. That's right, we have the Necroa Virus. The zombie virus has been unlocked for us. Unclassified, early analysis suggests extreme regenerative abilities, and it kinda looks like a head crab from Half-Life. Alright, let's play it. I've played it a couple of times just to get the feel for it. I've lost against the humans a couple of times. It's actually a pretty difficult plague because, unlike other ones, it's very unconventional, as you'll see in a bit. I'm gonna keep the catalytic switch to help me in the later game to get some more points while they're trying to make a cure for me. We'll keep the creationist so our plague doesn't mutate too early. We'll keep Aerosite to boost our air travel. We'll keep Extremophile so we do better in various environments. Now here's the new set of genes. These are exclusive only to the Necroa Virus. It has the cytopathic boost, which infected corpses are more likely to reanimate as zombies. The autolytic reduction slightly decreases the speed at which zombies decay. Thermal Necro reduces zombies' rate of decay in hot countries. Dopamine inhibitor increases the chance of zombie victims becoming a zombie, and spliced activation. Active abilities cost less DNA to use. I'm gonna keep that because that's pretty useful. However, these genes will not take effect until we evolve the plague into a zombie plague. We're gonna be playing on normal, and we're gonna be... Actually, I might keep this name. I actually thought it was pretty funny. The Zombie Inquisition. Just imagine a couple of zombies walking up to your doors and asking you questions about how would you rate tastiness of your flesh. No one suspects the Zombie Inquisition. Alright, let's jump on in. Welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new Necroa Virus. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. Let's go ahead and select our starting country. I've been testing it out in various different countries. I haven't worked out a perfect country to start off infection yet. Obviously I want high modes of transmissions, but at the same time I want to hit some very important cities first. Well, important countries I should say. You know what, I'm gonna go with Canada, because Canada gave me a lot of trouble in the couple of times I played it, so we're going with Canada. Our infection rate is gonna be pretty slow in the beginning, but it'll work. Zombie Inquisition begins in Canada. Zombie Inquisition has infected its first human. Weak and used to cold temperatures, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. Alright. So, we're going to be focusing on... Let's go ahead and kick up the speed. Actually, Necroa Virus identified. The Zombie Inquisition is a Necroa Virus. It has extreme regenerative abilities combined with aggressive metabolic demands, but most of its genetic structure is a mystery. Alright, so let's go ahead and kick up the speed. We're going to want as many points into our transmissions. Well, a couple of transmissions. I don't want to go too crazy with them. And some of our resistances to help us get along. So let's go into, as you can already see, the transmissions, symptoms, and ability trees are somewhat different. Abilities looks kind of the same, but later on it unlocks more stuff. But as you can see, there's some vast differences with the transmission and symptom trees. So let's go ahead and work on our transmissions. We're gonna go into saliva, so our plague is transmitted via saliva contact. Top notch. Mine opens over in Sweden. Yay, Minecraft! Alright, bring on the points. Keep giving me more. First 4D film release. Very nice. New leader of Who elected. Is he a doctor? Then he can be the Doctor Who. And then him with his sonic screwdriver. Minor gold rush near Istanbul. Istanbul, that's right around here, isn't it? Must be, because it used to be Constantinople before they renamed it. London Olympics mystery. Alright. Yeah, you should go to the Olympics. Bring the disease with you. It just wants to ask questions about the Olympics, you know. See what kind of food people are enjoying. Maybe a couple of people enjoy human flesh. President accused of miming inaugural address. Alright, so pretty much the Necroa Plague plays two ways. You could play it conventionally, where you try to kill off the humans the world's population via symptoms, pretty standard, but it actually is a lot tougher to do so with this plague because there's not that many symptoms right off the bat you can evolve into that are lethal enough to give you a fast start. It really wants you to go with the zombie symptoms, and that is the second way you play with this plague. You evolve into the zombie symptoms and work with zombies to carry out your plague. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into tier 2 water so we can start working on travel, sea travel. I'm not too worried about air transmission because I do have the Aerocyte gene, so that should help cover me there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get drug resistance 1 to help us with infection in Canada because they do have a decent healthcare system due to their wealthy status right there. I might go into cold resistance depending on how it looks for Canada. But then again, I do need heat resistance for Africa, South America, and Asia. So I might go with heat resistance over cold resistance, but because we did start off with some minor cold resistance, plus Extremovile should help us out. But yeah, so pretty basic in the beginning. Just play it like any other plague. Infect as many countries as you can, get a nice foothold of infected population so that they can't kill you right off the bat. But at the same time, I want them to notice me later on so I can make use of the catalytic switch for more DNA points, because I am going to be stockpiling DNA points later for when I start to evolve my zombie symptoms. And that's something that's very important. Until then though, we have to wait until Canada starts sending out infected ships. We have crossed the border into the US, so that's very nice. The US only has a wealthy and urban status, so we don't have to worry about the cold there. So that should help. Let's see, what else should we evolve into? Let's go into heat for now. Get ourselves ready. Is Mexico heat? Yes, Mexico has the heat status. Let's see. Let's see, we're in Canada and the US right now. If we could get to Egypt and South Africa, Festival of Love in the USA, alright, that'll boost the infection rating there. But if we can get into Egypt and South Africa, we pretty much cover the world with all means of transportations, because they are pretty good nexuses of transportation via ships and airports as well. Not saying that the US and Canada don't feel the same thing, but they're more limited in their roles, whereas these they're more central to the world. Plus, when we're in Africa, we can start working on their land borders, which is a good thing. Alright, we're in Russia. Let's see. Heat resistance 2, what does that require? 19 points, wow, that's a lot. Alright, well, we're just gonna let our DNA points sit a bit and build up. In the meantime, I do want to talk about some various things about the channel. First off, I've been getting a lot of messages for you, a lot of support from you guys and helping out the channel, saying you love the videos and all that. Thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it, and it boggles my mind just knowing that you guys are even watching my videos. I mean, there's plenty of other awesome YouTubers out there, more so than me, and I'm just really grateful that you guys chose to watch my videos, and it's just great. Hot countries getting hotter. Oh, that's not good. Don't do that. That's not nice. World, why are you not nice to my plague? Alright, Canada is going crazy with the infection, which is good, because Canada gave me a lot of trouble while I was testing out the plague. I played a total of 8 games before this particular session. This will be the 9th one, and I've only won 5 of the 8, and the other 3 I was just completely wrecked. One of them, they managed to finish the cure before I was ready. The other 2, you'll later see why my plague was wiped out. Let's see. We need 1 more point for our heat resistance. Alright, and we're in Egypt. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and kick up our heat resistance to counteract the global heat going up. Hopefully it will be enough to combat the heat in Africa. Hey, we made it into Greenland. That's awesome. That's off the list early. Now if we could get into like Madagascar and New Zealand, that would be great. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about, a little off topic from the game itself. I was watching couple videos on YouTube earlier today from Omwrecker, and he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's an awesome YouTuber, and he was doing a quick look at FTL, the Advanced Edition, since he got the update early. The Advanced Edition actually goes live tomorrow on April 3rd. Today is the April 2nd while I'm recording this, so I am so excited for the Advanced Edition update coming out. I've been waiting for that for so long, and from looking at the new content that I saw on Ohm's videos, it was awesome. I can't wait to try it out. Which does bring me to my next point. They did show a new ship. If that ship is unlocked from the get-go, I might play that one instead of what you guys have been voting for. If not, if it's gonna be like how it normally is, where you have to get to the sector that's pertains to that ship, and you have to do a mission, quest to unlock it, then I'll do it that way. But if it's available to me right off the bat after updating, then I'm gonna be playing that instead, because I really want to try out some of the new content. But if not, and then we just continue on as usual, and all of that explanation just is just moot. Right now, though, you guys have been voting. It's a close tie between the Kester Cruiser Type B, the rebel-looking one, and the Mantis Cruiser Type A. I think right now it's a 7-7 vote, so we need a swing vote, or me to flip a coin when I decide to play FTL tomorrow when I record again. Let's see. Alright, we haven't made it to Madagascar yet, but we are getting to many countries. Let's see our status. How are we doing? Madagascar, East Africa, Morocco. Alright, Morocco is the hardest of the landlocked countries here. My worry is Madagascar. We need to get there. Who trades with them? Australia, I believe, and South Africa, maybe? I think those are the two countries that trade with Madagascar. I'm not sure if anybody else does trade with them. Maybe India? I think India might trade with them. We'll have to see. Sometimes I have to play just random rounds just so I can watch the transport system and just watch who trades with who, what airplanes go to which country, which ships go to which. And it looks like South Africa just went to Madagascar, so that's good. That knocks that off the list. Right now, like I said earlier, we are just stockpiling our DNA points to get ready to evolve our symptoms. At the same time, while I'm stockpiling points, this also gives the plague time to infect more of the population, which will be very crucial later on when I evolve my symptoms. Because, like I said, this plague is pretty unconventional. Things kind of just go out the window after a certain point. Either for good, for the better, or for the worse. It could go either way for me or the humans. I mean, they've won 3 of the 8 times I played against them. It's just like, I'm not gonna count them out. I dread to think what this is gonna be like for me when I decide to play it on Mega Brutal in my off time. I have a feeling that I'm just gonna be raging at that, and that'll probably take too long of me just sitting around that, or they discover my virus too soon and then wipe me out before I even have a chance. Alright, let's see, Morocco hasn't been infected yet. Yeah, it's the last country we haven't gotten to. Come on, Morocco, join us. Be a cool cat. Join the plague. The zombie inquisitors just wants to ask you questions. You know, just rate of 1 to 10 how tasty your flesh is, 10 being the highest. If you were to eat another human being, which part of the body would you eat first, etc. You know, basic questions. Basic knowledge that a zombie should know. You know, that actually brings to mind a funny childhood story of mine. I think I was 8 years old at the time. I think I had just watched, for the first time, my first zombie film. It was Dawn of the Dead, the original, and I was so paranoid after I finished watching that movie. It got to the point where I was stockpiling food and water, like water bottles in my room, so I had like a reserve of food and water so I could survive on in case of zombies like somehow came into my neighborhood, so I could survive in my room. Oh my god, it was so horrible. I had this huge bag, like Like, you know those big plushy toys from like the carnivals, the big ones, like the #1 prizes that are very hard to get to, those big ones? The bag was that big, filled with like bags of chips, canned food with a can opener, water bottles, and non-perishable foods. I was such a paranoid kid. It took my parents some time convincing me that zombies was not gonna happen. I mean, yeah, maybe that's true, but it's still a possibility. No matter how small it is, it's a possibility. I mean, we already have zombie ants from the fungus, like I mentioned in the last episode. Who's to say that scientists won't mess up and then all of a sudden we have an almighty zombie plague brewing somewhere in the world? You never know. It's always a possibility. And never discount the smallest possibilities. Alright, we've pretty much infected most of the world already. Just a couple of countries holding strong over here. How's New Zealand doing? Alright, New Zealand's completely infected. That's what I'd like to see. Central Africa's starting to work on it. Morocco's starting to get there. Botswana. Alright, it's mostly the African countries. I'm not too worried about them. I'm more worried about countries like the island nations. Because if they lock themselves off, it's going to be very difficult for me to get to them. Especially if they execute their infected population, which is pretty much all of them. Or if a natural disaster happens and kills off a portion of them. So I want to build up my numbers. At the same time, I'm really hoping my virus will mutate very soon, so that the world will start taking notice of my plague and start working on a cure. That way I can make use of my catalytic switch and get more points to stockpile on. But if it comes down to it, I'll manually evolve myself if I need to, if it takes too long. If I remember correctly, it'll either mutate insomnia or hypersalivation. One of the two first. I'm hoping it's insomnia because that's a little less noticeable. At the same time, I hope it's the other one because it gives me an advantage for more infections, but at the rate I'm going, I won't need infectivity. We'll wait for a little bit, let Angolia get some more. Come on! Embrace the plague! Answer all the questions of the Zombie Inquisition. We'll grab those DNA points while we're at it, because we're gonna need them. How's the world status? We haven't even been noticed. They must slam the doors on our Inquisitors. It's just like when you get one of those people who just come by to advertise something and you just shut the door on them. I try not to do that to them because I don't want to be too rude. Oh, there we go. Insomnia symptom has mutated. Perfect. Mexico starts cure research. New minor disease spreading. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Central Europe found a new disease which has been named the Zombie Inquisition. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are reporting this disease. That's a good thing. Australia shuts down the airports in an attempt to stop our infections. That's not going to happen. Zimbabwe starts work on a cure. Scientists concerned about Zombie Inquisition. Early analysts of Zombie Inquisition in Madagascar has identified cellular regenerative abilities which could cause tumors. Government promises to take action. Will they now? We'll see about that. Scientists concerned about the Zombie Inquisition. Alright, Zombie Inquisition placed on the watch list. That's perfect because that means we're one step closer for them to sending research teams. Let's see. How's Angolia doing? Zombie Inquisition Awareness Day. Charities are holding a Zombie Inquisition Awareness Day to raise the profile of this disease and encourage the development of a cure. Alright, well let's go ahead and start evolving our symptoms. We'll go into fever, that's pretty standard. Photophobia, this is a new one. Sensitivity and pain when eyes are exposed to sunlight. Slows future research speed, but slightly reduces infection rates. We're not worried about infection. We've pretty much infected the entire world. Unintentionally. I wanted to mutate sooner, but we'll have to deal with it. And we might as well get some lethal. This is going to cause some deaths, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. But if I evolve into this, we officially become a zombie plague. I'm going to wait for now, though. let them send their research teams first. Give my time some ready. Alright, Egypt is leading the global cure effort. That's good. First death occurs in the Southeast Asia. Let's get some more points. At the same time, we want them working on the cure, but we don't want them curing us because they can still cure the infected even when we start going zombies. So we don't want them curing their infected population, therefore we need to move fast. They fully sequenced our genome, which is not good. That gives them more time on the clock. Come on, keep sending your research teams. I need more points. Send all the research teams. Alright, looks like several countries are declaring martial law. Doing good. Alright, let's go ahead and move into the cytopathic reanimation. Formation of complex neurostructures enables reanimation of damaged cells and restoration of low-level vitals. Turns the dead into zombies. Let's go. We officially have zombies now, and with that, we've also unlocked several zombie abilities, but we'll look into those actually I'll get them now, just so I can talk about it. So the first one, there are two active abilities. We have Horde Instinct. Basically, it allows us to create a horde and have the zombies move into another adjacent country or nearby. You can't, for example, you just can't go from Russia all the way to the US. That's just not possible. But I could just move them into China. But the problem is, like, for example, if I want them to go into Southeast Asia, I'm gonna have to leapfrog them, making two hordes. I can't just go straight from Russia to Southeast Asia. I have to go to China and then from China to Southeast Asia. So we'll go with Horde Instinct. I'm not too worried about structured travel with Horde leaders right now, so I'll make Horde Mentality. Actually, no, we'll just get the base one. Depending on the situation, I'll decide if I want to go more. We'll get the regenerative activation as well, basically bringing the dead back to life, and this basically delays the rate of our decomposition of the zombie corpses. That should be good for now. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of lethal to our plague. Infected brain cells switch to anaerobic respiration. Lactic acid buildup is lethal and destroys higher brain function, higher brain processes, and personality. Your friend is no longer who you thought he was. Alright, so the game has changed. Let's talk about this real quick. Down here, we no longer have an infected counter. Instead, we have a zombie counter. We want to keep the zombie population as high as possible. The zombies represent the dark red bar, whereas the red and the blue stands for the standard and black means dead. So the Zombie Inquisition begins to reanimate the dead. Zombie Inquisition is starting to turn infected corpses into zombies and will grow more powerful over time. Humanity has no idea what is about to happen. And here are the active abilities over here. Normally, both of these abilities cost 4 DNA points apiece every time you activate it, but with reanimation, it requires a dead population, but it allows the dead to come back to life. The bigger the dead population, the more proportional you will revive. So let's say if I had 5 dead people in the country, then I might get 2 to 3 back to life. The higher the number, the better. With hordes, it requires a zombie population. If there's no zombie in a country, I can't make a horde there to move into another country. Example, I can't make a horde go from Canada to the US if Canada has no zombies. Alright, let's go ahead and slow the text down a bit so I can read some of the news because they're quite interesting. The Zombie Inquisition begins to reanimate the dead. Look at it go. Grave robbers stage coordinated attack. Well, why would they do that? It seems like there's some resistance in the graveyards. Public access to cemeteries restricted. No, let them visit their loved ones. They just want to give them a hug. Libya gives Kier maximum priority. Zombie Inquisition turning people into zombies. Faced with overwhelming evidence, governments confirm that the Zombie Inquisition can trigger pathological aggression in corpses, but say that the situation is under control. Okay, sorry about that weird cut there. My audio recording stopped recording on its own, so I had to restart it up. But we have the Zombie Inquisition turning people into zombies. I don't know if I read that yet, or if the audio survived, but we'll have to see. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see, how's our population doing? USA places armed forces on high alert. Uh-oh. Sweden, how could you? ZCOM to set up a new base. ZCOM has enough resources to establish operations in a new country. Military planes departed from Sweden at dawn. So, humanity now has the ZCOM project. Obviously, this is a big reference to the XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within games. We now have ZCOM, Enemy Undead. Alright, we want to stop ZCOM because they are out to eradicate the virus. And we can't have that. We just can't have that. So we're gonna be focusing our efforts in Sweden. At the same time, we need to boost our zombie effectiveness. So we're gonna go ahead and go into enhanced motor controls. We'll get peptide surge, and we'll get dermal calcification, therefore making it harder for the ZCOM and armed forces to kill them. So it gives them more of a combat advantage. Let's see. The ZCOM project is in effect. Just go looking through the news real quick. Alright. Oops, I hit the pause again. I keep hitting escape, thinking it would turn the news off. There we go. So we need to destroy that ZCOM fortress. By doing that, we need to overwhelm them with zombies. Otherwise, Alpha and Bravo squad of the ZCOM project will cause no end of trouble for our zombies. So, to accomplish this, every time you see the skull symbol here, it means there's no more live humans there for our zombies to eat anymore. So the zombies have destroyed Afghanistan. Zombies have hunted down the last group of survivors in Afghanistan. There's no one left alive, and without food, the zombies will begin to starve. In the meantime, we do need to keep up and hope that we can out-survive the cure while killing the infected population and providing more zombies. And right now, it looks like our zombies are winning the fight against ZCOM. Maybe Alpha and Bravo squad aren't strong enough to take on this horde. My most perfect zombies. Watch as they tear down the world with their teeth. I can't even keep up with the clicking. Alright, so let's see. Alright, they are getting close to a cure, so we don't want that. Let's go ahead and delay them with a genetic shuffle. Alright, with that in place, that'll slow them down a bit. And, let's see. You know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go for a double-pronged attack here. We're gonna use the zombies, of course, kill off the armed forces and ZCOM, and we'll also use the plague itself to kill the remaining infected, so that we can slow down their research speed. So we'll get acute encephalitis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Feel free to criticize my pronunciation, everyone. Alright, with that in place, we'll save the rest of our points. Let's see how Sweden fares against us now. You can't stop us! Alright, as we noticed, Finland and Norway have both been completely overrun by the zombies. Therefore, we're gonna use the horde mentality to reinforce Sweden. So let's go ahead and go horde mentality 1 and 2, so that we increase the size of the hordes. So, we're gonna send from Norway and from Finland. Watch as my hordes swarm into Sweden. Oh, only 8 and 8? Really? That is your horde? A horde of 8? That is pathetic. That is just pathetic. How is that a horde of 8? Okay, let me try it again. Okay, that's better. There was a horde of 8. How's that a horde? That's not even a horde. That's like a group of individuals. Alright, Sweden is going down. We have a very high... My double-pronged attack is working. We are killing off the infected so they can't fight the zombies properly. And the research teams just keep supplying me with points. Alright. Let's see, which country, aside from Sweden, is doing good now? The problem with the ZCOM project, if you let them live for too long, then they will have enough power to establish new ZCOM fortresses around the world, and while we're busy fighting them, they are just prolonging the battle long enough for our zombies to rot away on their own. Right now I'm just scanning through the world to see if there's any more healthy populations. Actually, what was that? Egypt. 26% still uninfected. Otherwise, the rest of the world is about to fall. Sweden. The zombies are coming for you. ZCOM fully militarizes fortress. Alright, you know, let's have fun with it. Let's resurrect within Sweden. 180,000. ZCOM destroyed in Sweden. The ZCOM main base in Sweden has been destroyed by an overwhelming force of zombies. There were no survivors. Alpha and Bravo squad were wiped out. To all my subscribers and viewers who actually watch my XCOM Enemy Within series, sorry guys, I'm playing as zombies here. I gotta fight Alpha and Bravo squad here. I'm sure that the commander there thought he was doing what was best, but obviously he couldn't handle my zombies. Alright, who is still healthy in this world? There's still a decent amount of infected population. The good thing here, though, is even if all my zombies rot away, I have a way of killing the infected still, and I can still reanimate the dead if needed. Let's see. Who is left? Is it Greenland? No, they're all zombies right now. Bolivia? Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Alright, come on. No, Bolivia's gone, pretty much. Which country is it? I want to know which one to focus on. No, they're all zombies down there. Iceland's all zombies. Sweden. All that's left is zombies. Egypt. Alright, it's Egypt. We're gonna focus on Egypt. And by focusing, I mean just causing chaos for them. I could just make my zombies even more crazy, or I could just resurrect a whole bunch. Well, it can't be a true zombie plague if we don't make it funny. Let's make master gore tension, muscles become engorged, allowing zombies to bite through thick clothing, severity increased. Let's see. That would be nice. I don't really need the combat advantage anymore. At this point, we're just looking for lethal. So we'll get cannibalism, extreme compulsion to bite and eat other humans. And that's all our points for now. And we'll use what's left to resurrect the portion of the population. Almost 2 million brought back. Very nice. Egypt, you have the last remaining humans. You shall fall. Egypt declares urban zones hostile. Oh, really? It's a good thing we managed to stop Sweden early. Otherwise, they would have been setting up ZCOM fortresses all over the world, and I could not stop them if they could. Alright, declares rural zones hostile. They're still holding out. They're doing a good job of holding. Oh, there they go. They've been destroyed. Victory! The zombie inquisition and its zombies have consumed humanity. There is nothing left. Alright, well, it took us 2,132 days. Cure progress was at 77%. Genetic complexity, it was standard. It's just zombies. Pretty good though. Let's take a look at the charts. How fast? Let's take a look at, take the healthy out, take the infect. Alright, let's look at the rate of the zombies. It just peaked and then all went down. And the dead just went off to the roof. Wow, that's crazy. Alright, so that's it for Plague Inc. Evolved Episode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.